What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is gonna be a pretty quick video on the journey of my gray hair. I started getting gray hair when I was about 14, 15 years old. That's when I saw the first few strands of gray hair on the side of my head. I think it was this side. And at first when I got it, I was kind of thinking like, damn, is this a problem? Like, is it not good to have gray hair? Is something wrong? Am I getting old? All these thoughts. Obviously, when you first start getting gray hair, especially at a young age, when you're in grade 9, 10, you're kind of like, this doesn't seem to be right. People around you don't have gray hair either, right? And I was like, damn, like this is not good. Obviously, being that age, you care about what people think, your classmates, all that stuff. But then at the same time, like deep down, I knew like I didn't want to do anything about it. Like I wanted to keep it because it is what it is. It's me. You know, luckily I was good at a lot of sports and people respected me for that reason. I try to think to myself, like, if I didn't and I wasn't like well known in my school, like how would my experience have been with gray hair? And I know a lot of people probably deal with that. Like even with me being like pretty well known in school, there were like a lot of comments made, not in like a mean way, but like people would always come up to me and be like, oh, like, are you stressed, bro? Like, oh, you're stressing, like you got gray hair. I kind of was like, okay, let's do some research on this. And I quickly realized that getting gray hair doesn't really have anything to do with stress. It's more so genetics. So like if your family has gray hair, like your parents or your grandparents or whatever, then you're more likely to get gray hair as well.
People associate grays with age, and obviously, yes, that's a thing. When you get older, your hair grays out and your hair turns white, but that's okay. Like if you're young and you have it, just know that I think he looks handsome with gray hair.
This video is just about my experience with gray hair since I was 14 years old until now.
Yeah, that's a nice video to make. I feel like a lot of people it might be nice to hear it.
But yeah, honestly, the reason I thought about even making this video was because actually over the years, a few people who have DM'd me, probably like close to 10 people within the last like 5 years since I started like really posting on social media and stuff, and kind of telling me like I have gray hair just like you do. Like, how are you okay with it? Like, do you not hear comments? Do you not hear like aunts and uncles saying certain things? Do you not feel uncomfortable walking out with gray hair?
If you're that person that's watching it, then I'm sorry that you've always felt like your gray hair was something to be ashamed of or be insecure about, but just know that I think it's something to be very proud of. I think it's really nice. I actually, before I even met him, I used to always wonder, should I dye my hair gray, like silver? I thought it was really cool. I think it's still cool. I probably will do it one day. I think it's really nice. I just think you shouldn't listen to what other people have to say. You shouldn't care, you know? But I know if you do care and if you're still going to be insecure about it, that's okay too. Like, insecurities are okay to have.
If you truly feel yourself that you want to do it, then yeah, sure, go for it. But if not, like if you're kind of like, I don't want to do it, but people are saying things, then I promise you, you'll be way happier if you do not do it. When I was younger, I used to like care about it. I used to care what people used to think. And then as I got older.
But why did you care? Is it because people would say something?
Like they would always ask like, oh, like, they would always make the comment of like, oh, are you stressed? And I'll get cheese because in my head I'm like, the only thing that's stressing me out is you asking me if I'm stressed. Like, I'm not stressed. Cause like,
That's such a weird question to ask a kid.
to the young person who messaged me on IG, like if there's other people out there who also have gray hair at a young age, like at the end of the day, I'm so happy I never dyed my hair. There's been many times where I could have done it and people have told me to do it. I think your future self would be happy that you didn't do something because other people told you to do it, you know?
Like, I get it. Some people are insecure about it, but you wouldn't be insecure about it if society didn't make it seem like gray hair is a problem to have.
But luckily, I never really listened to anyone because I already knew. I'm like, at a certain point from like, I'd say like age 16 to age like 24, anytime people asked about my gray hair, I would just respond with, it's wisdom. Because like that was my response in a way that would not be savage. This is another thing. Like, I don't think it's an appropriate question to ask. Like, or like an appropriate comment to make, like, oh, you should dye your hair, or why do you have gray hair? Is like, for someone who's had gray hair for such a long time, like, it's annoyed me that people think it's like an okay question to come ask you, or okay comment to make, like, oh, you should be dyeing your hair. First of all, who the hell are you?
Who the hell am I to say something about somebody else?
I swear I said this word for word. I don't come here telling you how to live your life. I'm not telling you get some nose piercings, dye your hair. I don't think anyone should talk about anyone's appearance ever. Some people just don't know that it's not a comment they should be making. But like when you think about it, it's kind of common sense. Like someone has gray hair and they haven't dyed it, and you going and telling them, oh, you should dye your hair. Like if I thought I should dye my hair, I would have dyed my hair already. People out there who make comments about gray hair, like just worry about yourself. What's the purpose of even bringing that up, the conversation about gray hair? Like what did you really achieve out of making that comment? Like, for example, if I actually go and dye my hair, what does that really do for you? Like, what did you get out of that?
The next time you want to comment about someone's appearance, like think, like, what am I gaining out of this? Like, what am I gaining by telling you, like, oh, your hair's gray? Like,
that's exactly.
Like, what are you gaining out of that?
I said the same thing. I said the exact same thing. Like, what are you getting out of that? Like, do you want me to go dye my hair? Like, what is that going to do for you, though? You know, like, whoever's asking me.
Like, are you bothered? Like, do you not like gray hair? Like, are you bothered by it?
No, but how's it affecting your life? Like, you're going to go home, like LeBron said.
You know, at the end of the day, they got to wake up tomorrow and have the same life that they had before they woke up today. Same personal problems that they had today.
You're still going to have all the problems you had yesterday. But, like, what is that going to... Is me getting black hair going to now make you rich? Or, like, make you happy?
No, like, people just think that, oh, maybe if you had black hair, you'd look better. But you like your gray hair. You want to keep your gray hair.
But yeah, at the end of the day, people are gonna have things to say all the time. Having gray hair actually makes you different. It makes you look different. You're not the same as everyone else. So that in itself is a dub to me. Like, everyone in this world wants to be the same as other people or wants to fit in, all that, but what is the purpose of that? Like, fitting in is boring. There's one person in particular who said, like, a lot of my pictures and posts kind of like made them feel comfortable, and I've talked to this person a few times through DMs and stuff, where they kind of just felt better about their hair. It's a younger person, and obviously I know how I felt at that age. If it was a lot more pressure, now I honestly do not give a flying damn, because I like my gray hair now. Like I have like kind of streaks of gray hair, and a lot of people are like, yo, did you dye your hair like that? It looks sick. And it's like, no, I didn't. You know how much money I paid for these streaks? Absolutely $0. Imagine I listened to all those people who told me to dye my hair. Well, one, I wouldn't have known it could look like this because I would have never let it look like this. And that's the other thing, like people around you, like people in your circle, like if they make you feel comfortable, like Danuska, for example, like she never has made a comment on my gray hair ever. Like ever since we've met, has never said anything about my gray hair. Like, oh, I should change it or whatever. She always says she likes my gray hair. She's like, your gray hair is so sick, like I love it.
I feel like when you have gray hair, like the mix like this, like you just see your highlights, you can see your curls nicer.
And when you have people around you like that, it's like, that's the kind of energy you need, you know? The fact that I don't care about my gray hair anymore is kind of weird, because when I seriously stopped caring about it, probably like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I feel like no one asked me that question. Maybe it's like energy. Like I don't track that energy because in my head I'm like, I don't care.
No, that's true.
Or maybe like randomly at like events or something when I'm filming, they're like, oh, you're working too much. Like, you got gray hair. Like, come on, bro. It doesn't make no damn sense. I mean, maybe it does make sense. Maybe it does have something to do with work or whatever, but I've had the same amount of gray hair for the past 5 years. I haven't had more gray hair. It's just the amount that it is right now. It's been like that. And I like it.
It's really sad. Like, insecurities is a real thing. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I have insecurities too, you know? But like, it literally is what you say. I feel like when you're insecure, like naturally you're just more like, you're thinking about, okay, what is someone gonna say about like how I look? Like, are they gonna notice like this thing about me? Like, that's just how it works, and it's really sad. But like, you know, it is what it is. Like, people just have to work on their own insecurities and figure out like, you know, how they're gonna, you know, build that confidence.
And there's nothing wrong with that either.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with having insecurities is human. Everyone has insecurities. There's not a person in this world that doesn't have an insecurity, I don't think. If you're watching this and you're someone that just makes comments about people and how they look without realizing, just take a second to think, like, before you make a comment, like, okay, what am I gonna gain from this? Like, does this have potential to be detrimental to this person's, you know, mental health? Think about that. For example, my eyebrows, okay? The only reason why people, like in my comments or like something, make comments about my eyebrows, I'm telling you, is because I talk about the fact that I have very sparse brows. And I hate my brows and my brows take so long for me to do and whatever. Like if I sat here saying, oh my God, like I love my brows and I love that they're like, they look unique and whatever, like no one would be saying anything. Like people find the need to say something because they know they can attack you and it's gonna, make you insecure or something.
But at the same time,
like
I think some people don't realize that it's like,
No, I know there are those handful of people. And with social media too, and like what people say and do on social media, that just makes it worse. But yeah.
gray hair for the win. But yeah, if you do have a gray hair story, let me know in the comments below. Do you have gray hair? Do people make comments about it? Do you care? How do you deal with it? And do you want to punch them in the face? Jokes, I'm just joking. I do not want to punch my aunts and uncles in the face. Yeah, that's pretty much my video. I know it's a random video, but I just thought I'd drop it because there's a few people who messaged me on Instagram and asked me how I deal with my gray hair. So that's pretty much how I deal with it. I really don't care what people have to say anymore. I did before, but not anymore. If I flip this on my hand, I'm an OG.